Hello, welcome back, my fellow friends and yogis, to my channel. My name is Handstand Dan, and today we have yoga for anxiety. Whether you're dealing with some serious stress in your life, or maybe just, a couple things throughout this week have been bothering you, just want to take a few minutes out of your day here to come on down into your mat and ground down into your practice. We're going to focus today on just moving the body, opening up the heart. Oh, well, hello there. Welcome. Do you have anxiety? Well, welcome to the human race. Oh, well, hello there. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Handstand Dan, and this is yoga for anxiety. I mean, do you struggle with anxiety? Well, welcome to the human race. Here we are on planet Earth dealing with stress in every sort of way we can possibly think of. There's so many different forms of anxiety. I'm not going to get into reasons for anxiety too much today. I feel like there's plenty of videos out there. But we're just going to take some nice, simple stretches for the day. And most importantly, throughout this video, what I really want you to focus in on is your breath. All right, your breath will keep you focused in to the here and the now, this present moment. So we'll start today lying on your backs. Now, before you get settled in, you don't necessarily need a yoga block or two, but it might come in handy at a certain point or another. So if you don't have a block, you can use a water bottle or just something that has a solid foundation that if you put any weight, it's not going to collapse. All right. So with that being said, let's just start lying on the backs. We're going to come into Souptabata Kanasana. So you're going to take your feet to touch, and then your knees go out wide. Place your left hand on your heart and your right hand on your belly. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Big breath in, fill up. Big breath release out. Take a moment here to allow your inhales to be the same length as your exhales. Continue to breathe at your pace. Sometimes in life, things can get a little stressful. Whether something terrible is even happening in your life, we hold on to these emotions. We bottle them up and we store them in our body. So we're just going to take a few minutes here to stretch the body out, getting into the hips because the hips tend to hold a lot of our emotions. If you allowed your breath to escape you already, it's okay. Just come back to it. Fill up your lungs. Exhale it out. I mean, we as humans have lived off of anxiety. I feel that, in my opinion, anxiety is our mind not focusing into the present moment. We're stressing about life. Back in the day, like thousands upon thousands, if not millions of years ago, humans had to fight for survival. And anxiety was a part of our life because we always had to think of where to go to next and how to stay alive. But boy, have the times changed. But the times might have changed, but that doesn't mean biologically our body and our mind has changed. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. So we're just taking a few minutes here to come back to the present moment. Your mind tries to sabotage you, thinking about the past and the future, where you could be right now instead of where you are. But come back to this here and now, taking notice of your breath, taking notice that you're alive, you're here. And even through all the torments and stresses of your life, finding an opportunity to take a moment to find gratefulness for being here. For the chances of you being born were 1 in 432 trillion. You've made it. You're here. Take a deep breath in. Fill up your lungs. Exhale it out. We're going to take one last big breath. Take this as the biggest breath you can gather in from the day. Inhale, fill it all the way up. Hold it at the top for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale it all out. Excellent job. Now place your hands on your knees and gently close your legs like a book. We'll take a nice good morning stretch. So reach your arms and your legs long. Take a nice deep breath in. Feel free to circle out the ankles and your wrists. And take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze, maybe a little rock side to side. Beautiful. Now take a deep breath in. Release your hands from your knees. As you exhale, we're finding a supine twist. So your knees will go over to the right as your gaze starts to go over to the left. Now there's variations to our supine twist here. You can keep your knees together. Maybe you lengthen your left leg out long to the right side of your mat. Or you could take your right heel and bring it towards your glute and have your left hand grab hold. Most important, though, is just breathe. Deep breaths in. Deep breaths out. I think one of the main issues with anxiety is that we don't know how to cope with it. But just staying focused into this present moment can help a little bit. Try to keep both of your shoulders connected to the earth. Take one more breath in. And a breath out. As you inhale, start to bring your knees back in toward your chest. And as you exhale, we'll take it over to the other side. Knees to the left, gaze to your right. Take the same variation as you took on the other side. When I was a kid, I used to struggle with anxiety to an extreme amount. I had OCD when I was a child, probably started in middle school, and it went all the way up through high school, and a little bit into college, I believe. And not the soft kind of OCD where people joke around. No, I used to flick light switches on, and it would take me about a half hour. I would do this before bed, and I had to turn it off a specific way in order to go to bed. And it was stuff like that that would consume hours of my day. Come back to your breath. Come back to the present. Then I started to realize how ridiculous it was. I realized that I was putting a lot of pressure on myself because, we have a lot of expectations for ourselves. And when we don't live up to those expectations, we start to get stressed. We feel anxious, like we're not good enough, like we're not worthy. But you are worthy. You just have to find it within yourself. Take one more breath in and a breath out. As you inhale, return your knees into your chest. Now wrap your arms around your thighs. We'll take a couple rock and rolls up and down your mat. Waken up your spine. Let's take 2 more rocks. And then we'll meet in a tabletop pose. So cross your legs over each other. Place your knees down. Hands come down. So we're taking the knees. We're stacking them under the hips. And then the wrists are directly underneath your shoulders. As you inhale, we'll take a cow pose. So lower your belly. Gaze out in front. And then exhale, round through the spine. Chin to chest. Inhales for cow. Exhales for cat. Just Just keep breathing through your cat-cows. We're waking up the spine in your pelvis. So how I dealt with my own anxiety, my own OCD was I kind of realized in a way how ridiculous it was. I didn't feel like I was adequate enough, like I was worthy. But then I started to realize, that we live on a rock that's floating through outer space at 800 miles an hour to a universe that stretches to infinity. Realizing that merely just a speck of sand in an infinite galaxy, in an infinite universe, I was placing way too much pressure and weight on myself. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. Continue your cat-cows. Option here to maybe flip your palms over so that your fingers face towards your knees. Taking a little bit of a wrist and forearm stretch. Feel free to continue through your cat-cows. Let's take one more. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. If your palms are flipped over, let's take them back to center. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, puppy pose. So you're going to keep your hips glued to the sky, but start to lean your chest or reach your chest down. We're going to walk the arms out in front of us. So we're taking a back bend here. Now, option to have your forehead down. If you want to go a little bit deeper, you can go chin to the earth, trying to get the chest to connect down. Deep breaths in. Deep breaths out. Coming back to this moment, this here and now. For this moment in time is the only moment in your life that you have true power over the decisions that you can make. We form so many habits in our mind, and we have these neural connections that through these bad habits form deeper bonds. So the more anxious we become, or the more we think about this, the more anxious we become. It's kind of like the old saying of you are what you eat, well, you are what you think. Let's take 3 more breaths. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, release out. Deep breath in. Last big breath in. And exhale, return to your tabletop pose. Ooh, maybe you sway the hips a little bit left to right, left to right. Right, then tuck your toes underneath and lift your hips on up high to the sky, downward facing dog. Pulling the chest towards the thighs and pressing your thighs towards the sky. Feel free to pedal out the feet here. Beautiful job. Then inhale, take your right leg high to the sky. Drive the heel high and flex the toes down. Then as you exhale, step your foot in between your hands. Lower your back knee down to the earth. Modified crescent pose, so arms sweep up overhead. Now, try to have the knee stacked over the ankle instead of draping over the toes, and pull the belly in. So right hip is pressing back, left hip presses forward. Arms reach up overhead. Spiral the pinkies inwards. Take a breath in. Exhale, open arm twist. Right arm reaches back, left arm reaches forward. Feeling a chest expansion. Try to bring your gaze over your back thumb. Hold here and breathe. Inhale, slowly come back to center. Arms sweep up. Exhale, back bend. Goal post your arms. Open up your chest to the ceiling. Hold here. Feel the expansion through your chest. Then inhale, return the arms high. And exhale, plant your hands down, straighten through your front leg for half splits. So you can bump your hip back if you need to. Just flex your toes toward your face. Option to stay right where you are. If you'd like, you can walk your hands over to the right for an IT band stretch. As you inhale, palms are grounded. Right foot plants back down. Left toes tuck underneath. Left knee lifts off of the mat. Then crawl your hands over to the left, wide-legged forward fold. Going to take a ragdoll, so opposite arm over opposite elbow. Feel free to stay perfectly still, or maybe you get a little sway side to side. In your legs, I want you to have 60% of your weight in the front half of your foot to allow your forehead to drape just a little bit lower. Gently release the palms back down to the earth. Take a halfway lift with your chest. And as you exhale, square your chest back to the front of your mat for a low lunge. And then step your left foot up to meet your right, forward fold. We're looking for stomach to thighs to connect here, which means that you might have to bend your knees. This will help create length in your lower back. And take the tension from your head and from your neck and let it go. There's nowhere to go, nowhere to be, except for the here and the now. Breathe in, breathe out. Halfway lift, inhale. So a flat back as if your back is straight towards the wall in front of you. Then exhale, fold back down. Inhale, mountain pose. Come on up to rise. Slowly, one vertebrae at a time. As your head meets neutral, arms will reach up overhead. Take a big breath in. Then exhale, goal post the arms, back bend. Inhale, return the arms high. Exhale, forward fold down. Halfway lift, inhale. Then high plank, exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back, and slow and in control, lower all the way down to your belly. Going to take a Sphinx Pose. So forearms come down. You're creating 11, the shape of a number 11 with your forearms. And as your chest lifts, so your feet are planted into the earth, pressing into the earth. Your forearms are pressing, and your chest is opening up. Maybe you activate your Ujjayi breath by sealing your lips closed and finding inhales and exhales through the nose. Starting to bring the gaze over your right shoulder. And then slowly bring the gaze over the left shoulder. Continue to breathe. Find one more breath in. Breath out, bring your head back to center. Lower your chest down. Child's pose, so feet come to touch. Knees can go out wide as you bring your hips back to your heels. As you inhale, come up to your tabletop pose. And as you exhale, toes tuck under, hips lift high, downward facing dog. As you inhale, left leg goes high. As you exhale, step your foot through. Drop your back knee down. Arms sweep up. Inhale, rise. Modified crescent or Salamba Anjane. Belly presses in towards the spine. Keep the knee stacked over the ankle. And as you exhale, open arm twist. Left arm back, right arm forward. Feel your chest expanding open as you reach your arms away from your body at shoulder height. Spread your fingers wide. Try to bring your gaze over your back thumb. With an inhale, return your arms to center. And with your exhale, back bend, open up the chest. Inhale, return the arms high. Exhale, plant your hands down, straighten through your front leg, half splits. Toes to flex towards you. Take the same variation as you took on the other side, whether you kept your palms grounded or you walked your hands over to the left. Take what works for you here. As you inhale, palms plant, left foot plants back down. Tuck your back toes under, right knee lifts, and crawl your hands over to the right, wide-legged forward fold. Now, as you inhale, going to rise up to a star pose. So slow and in control. Engage through your core as your chest starts to lift up. Arms will reach. So squeeze through your glutes and your hamstrings here. Your toes are to point in, heels point out. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Inhale to lift up your chest. Then exhale, hinge forward from the waist, coming back to our forward fold. Remember, you can softly bend your knees here as well if you need to. It's just yoga at the end of the day. Just breathe. Take one more breath in. And exhale, release your palms down to the earth. Halfway lift with your chest inhale. Square your chest to the front. Low lunge. And step your right foot up to meet your left. Forward fold. Maybe you have your palms down. You can wrap your hands around your calf muscles. Soft bend in the knees. Breathe. All right, inhale, find a halfway lift. And then exhale, fold back down. Inhale, mountain pose. Slowly come up to rise. Arms reach for the ceiling. Press the palms together this time and lift up onto your tippy toes. Hold here. Breathe and reach your heels high. Come up onto your tippiest of tip toes for 3 breaths. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, let it out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale one last time. Exhale, release the heels. Fold back down to the earth. Halfway lift, inhale. And exhale, plant your hands, high plank, step your feet back. This time lower all the way down to your belly. Option here, either going to take seal pose or upward facing dog. If you know up dog, feel free to go there. I'm going to come to seal pose. So palms are next to your chest. As you inhale, lift your chest up. Try to straighten through the arms. Feel free to take maybe a couple neck rolls here. And then maybe going in the opposite direction. Most important, just breathe. Let's take 2 more inhales. Last deep breath in. And exhale, lower your chest back down. We'll find our child's pose. Sink your heels back, or your hips back to your heels. And then we'll make our way back to tabletop pose. And we're going to work into a little camel pose here. So you're going to come to standing on your knees. Now you have options here. All right, so option number 1, this is going to be a back bend. So option 1 is to place your hands onto the small of your back. And we'll take a deep breath in. As you exhale, hips start to press forward as your chest opens towards the ceiling. Now, you have options here besides your hands being here. If you have 2 yoga blocks, you can place the blocks next to your legs and have your hands grab hold of them. Or if you want to go deeper, you can have your hands grab hold of your heels. Breathing in, breathing out. Letting all the worries of your day go by here. You know, it's okay to feel stressed out from our day-to-day life because life isn't easy. And stress and anxiety are just a natural human condition. Taking 3 more breaths. Last breath in. Breath out. Slowly come on back up. Woo! All right. And then release back down into a child's pose. As you inhale, come up to your tabletop. And as you exhale, tuck your toes, lift your legs or your hips on up, downward facing dog. Then inhale, bring your gaze to the front of your mat. And give me some little baby steps, walking your feet up to your hands. Find a halfway lift, inhale. Fold, exhale. Inhale, mountain pose. Come on up to rise. Arms reach up. And let them all down. Arms come to your side. Now, inhale, lift your shoulders up. And exhale, release down. 2 more times. Inhale, lift the shoulders. Exhale, release. Inhale, holding the weight of the world. Exhale, release it down. Have your right palm next to your hip, and then your left arm extends on over. So option to have your feet to touch, or maybe you bring your legs out a little bit wider than your hips. Try to have the left palm facing towards the earth. Gaze over the left shoulder. And inhale, return to center. Arms ridge up. And we'll take it over to the other side. Left hand down, right arm extends. And inhale back up to center. Exhale, shake it out. All right. Now, remember, you are at home, all right? Nobody's judging here. We're just going to take just a few moments here to just dance it out. Just shake it out. Let it loose, all right? Feel it. Feel it within your body. Just let everything go. We hold so much stress. We're stiff like a board. Just let it loose. Do your thing. Come back to this moment and just dance it out, all right? Just dance it. Ooh, feeling those hip pops right there. Oh, boy. And then come on back to center. Shake it out, loosey-goosey. One last time, lift your arms up overhead. Inhale. And exhale, fold back down. Halfway lift, inhale. And plant your hands and just bring your knees on down to the earth. Going to work on to your sit bones, so take your legs, or your sit bones down and your legs out long in front of you. Now, right foot is going to plant inside or outside of your left knee. Your right hand comes to the back of the mat. Left arm goes up high. Find a big breath in. And exhale, twist left elbow outside your right knee. So, keep your spine nice and tall. Try to bring your gaze over your right shoulder. As you inhale, start to come back to center. Okay, switch this out. So right foot goes long. Left foot plants outside your right knee. Left hand is down. Right arm lifts up high. Take your breath in. And exhale, twist on over. Tall, proud spine. Allow your exhales to get you deeper. Maybe you shut down your eyes. Going a little bit inwards today. Taking notice of any emotions that might have popped up throughout this practice today, and try not to get frustrated or emotionally attached to your emotions, but instead just taking notice of where you are today. Beautiful job. Slowly come back to center. And butterfly your feet. So soles of feet come to touch, knees go out wide. Hands can come to your ankles. They can go to your feet, whatever kind of works for you here. We're going to take a nice lift as you inhale. So tall, proud chest. And exhale, fold forward. Take one last breath in. Exhale, folding deep. Inhale, slowly coming up to rise. All right, for our last pose today, we're going to do legs up the wall. So if you do have a yoga mat, you don't necessarily need it, but if you want to place it next to the wall with you, and then you're going to sit next to your wall. All right, lay on down to your back, and then legs go up, as your hips shift over. So here we are, legs up the wall. This is going to deplete the blood flow circulation through your legs so that when we finish, all that blood flow is going to recirculate and revamp all the blood vessels. Give it a nice little rejuvenation. So maybe you bring your left palm to your heart and your right palm to your belly. Taking notice of the heartbeat. Taking notice of the here and the now. Slowly starting to reawaken the breath. Feel free to stay in this pose for as long as you'd like. But your challenge for the rest of your day is to first practice a little bit of gratefulness. So finding whether it's a person, place, or thing that you are grateful for. And most important, I want you to give yourself some grace. Understand that it is okay to have anxiety. We are built in, our brain is built for anxiety. So your goal is to notice when you start to become a little bit anxious and maybe a little bit twitchy. And coming back to the present, when we start to understand, or when we start to find those moments of anxiety, we can slowly deplete those neural connections and just come back to living in the moment. So if you're ready to join me, just bring your palms together at heart center. Thank you so very much for joining me here today. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. We bow and say, Namaste.